Islamist group Hamas made great inroads by sermoning in mosques and providing social services in refugee camps. In December 1987, Muslims erupted into a popular uprising against Israel known as the Intifada. At first spontaneous, the Intifada developed into a well-organized revolt of violence and civil disobedience, including attacks on Israeli troops with stones, Molotov cocktails, hand grenades, and firearms. Arafat and the PLO faded as symbols for the young protesters whose leaders were Islamist. With little to lose, Arafat joined the diplomatic strategy against Israel.
The PLO, the parliament, the PNC had accepted two states, Palestine state and Jewish state.
As a result, Yasser Arafat lost legitimacy with Muslims as he was embraced by the United States. Then, in 1991, the PLO supported Iraq in the Gulf War, causing it to lose popularity among Western governments. That same year, remaining PLO forces in southern Lebanon were driven out by the Syrian-backed Lebanese army. The PLO, Israel's most implacable and dedicated enemy, had become a non-factor, irrelevant to Palestinians, out of favor with the West, exiled from the region, discredited and defeated. The Oslo Accords. From these depths of despair, the new Israeli labor government rescued the PLO and Yasser Arafat and proclaimed them to be their new partners for peace. Israel was now in complete agreement with the diplomatic strategy against Israel, believing it would achieve Western peace.
Israel must move on all the fronts.
You know, on all fronts, we have to be on the giveaway side.
The Jordanian front.
To the king, too, we should have to return some land here and there.
The Palestinian front.
The EU should return. In Lebanon, we should have to withdraw.
The Syrian front.
In Syria, we should have to withdraw.
Let all of us turn from bullets to ballots, from guns to shovels. We shall pray with you.
For Arafat, the Oslo Accords and all it entailed was a lifesaver. Israel made staggering concessions to the PLO, as Israel gave the PLO and Arafat control of Gaza and half the West Bank, released hundreds of security prisoners, and armed a Palestinian police force. Israel's resurrection of the PLO included providing a local land base of operations, an eager population of new recruits, arms, international status, and infrastructure, including safe passage, water, airport, electricity, TV and radio stations. Sticky matters, such as the fate of Jerusalem and the PLO's demand for return of millions of Palestinian Arab refugees into Israel proper, would be left as negotiable. Meanwhile, Israeli Foreign Minister Shimon Peres lobbied hard and successfully for the United States and Europeans to donate hundreds of millions of dollars to Arafat's new Palestinian Authority. Given the opportunity, would the PLO pursue peace in Western terms, or simply carry on its jihad from its unbelievably lucky, new, advantageous position?
هذه المسيرة حتى القدس حتى القدس حتى القدس.
Right-wing opposition. The Israeli left's enthusiasm for the Oslo Accords was in stark contrast to the Israeli right, who saw the agreement as a colossal and fatal error that would place Israel on a path of war and not peace.
From our point of view, the PLO is no partner for any peace process.
We cannot trust them. They are criminals, they are liars, they are enemies of our people.
אני שמעתי הרבה דברי הכפשה ובלע כאלה על עם ישראל יוצאים מפיהם של אויבי ישראל, אבל לשמוע אותם מפיך, מר פרס?
On the right, it was argued that any PLO control of territory would simply turn into a new terrorist base for launching attacks on Israel. misunderstanding and denial. In the face of such concern from the right, Peres and Rabin stated, "We will make a peace of the brave. All we are saying is give peace a chance. You can only make peace with enemies. If it doesn't work, the whole world will support us." Most of Israel agreed and supported peace.
الأرض مقابل السلام مش الأمن مقابل السلام. أو في واحدة تكون تعبانة تروح تقعد في بيتها وتبعت لأولادها وتبعت لأولادها.
Do you feel sometimes that you made a mistake in agreeing to Oslo? Arafat answered, No. Allah's messenger, Muhammad, accepted the Al-Hudaybiyah peace treaty, and Saladin accepted the peace agreement with Richard the Lionhearted. While Arafat became less diplomatic, the Israeli misunderstanding turned into denial.
By being optimistic, I was also right.
The jihad continues. Meanwhile, the new Palestinian Islamic fundamentalist group, Hamas, expanded under the protection of the PLO in Gaza and carried out suicide bombings throughout Israel. Rabin stated, "The Israeli dead in these attacks were part of the price for peace." Hoping to end Rabin's policies, a Jewish extremist assassinated him in 1995.
Your prime minister was a martyr for peace. Surely we must learn from his martyrdom.
The rightist Likud party, led by Benjamin Netanyahu, won the next election on a promise to revoke the Oslo Accords, but instead simply continued them at a slower pace. Having accomplished nothing, the Likud was replaced by the Labour Party. This led to the Camp David talks, which broke down in August 2000, when Israel agreed to everything except for the right of return of millions of Arabs into Israel proper. So together with Hamas, Arafat and the PLO resumed the military jihad.